Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Motivation Monday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We are opening minds to living differently in the world with love, tolerance, compassion, and understanding for ourselves and hopefully everyone else. We do that right here weekdays at 11 a.m. You never have to miss a show. Why? Because we are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. Y'all like, wait, I don't know. It's a one-stop shopping. Go to tglradioshow.com, tglradioshow.com. Hit the live button. We are right there. It's live, like on right now, like live. And if you ever do miss a show, you can go to Watch Now, and it will bring you to our YouTube page, and you can check out all of our shows. You can go to our podcast. You can buy our TGL gear. We have shirts, we have aprons, we have all kinds of stuff. You can learn about us. You can see what our mission is, because we are here to help. And that's what it's about. We're just about spreading some positivity. And with that, y'all know, if I find something that works, I like to share the information. So we have Mr. Reginald Harley, who is the regional manager for SBA from the Office of International Trade. I was like, yes, I told y'all The Good Life was taking over the world, so I brought him in here to help us out so I can do it with each and every one of you. So we do want to open the line so that if you have a question or if you want to type it on Facebook, that we will answer those questions there as well. So the lines are 504-260-9265, 504-260-9265. If you want to just sit back and relax and listen, you can do that as well. But I just want to make sure that you knew that if you did have a question about for Mr. Reginald Harley with the SBA for international trade, that you could give us a call, 504-260-9265. Mr. Harley, welcome to The Good Life.
It's a wonderful time.
I am so excited to have you here because we love to pick your brain. So give us a little bit of information about exactly what the International Trade Office for the U.S. Small Business Administration does.
I'd be more than happy to. And let me say first and foremost, thank you for the opportunity to come on the show and the opportunity just to share this information. Again, working for the federal government, I always say that as a taxpayer, which I assume you are,
yes,
that I work for you and all those that do pay taxes, and so that whatever I can provide, it's my role to do so. And in that regard, I wanted to have that take the chance to share that we at the SBA, at least in the role that I play, are in place in order to help small and medium-sized businesses understand how to go global. Essentially, what we're trying to do is simplify the process to make people understand that, help people understand that, one, that they can do this without a lot of risk, and there are things that we can put in place to mitigate or reduce that risk, and two, that there are resources in place that will help identify where the market is for their service or their product out there beyond the U.S. shores.
You just hit on so many things that I was like, I had questions about, because, okay, say I have a great product. Well, of course, The Good Life is a great product, and
yes,
that's amazing. But like, say I had a food, in New Orleans, maybe, distributing, I had y'all know we have pies. Let's just say it was pies or, something like that. And I'm like, it's an amazing product, but I don't know which countries would be the best countries for me to offer my product, or even the radio show. We could put it that. What countries are the best countries to, to seek, and how do I make that connection? It's just, I just feel like it's just too much. I'm confused. I'm overwhelmed.
Absolutely, and you're in good company in that regard. Well, here's the good news. There's a grant that is actually available, so that if you're interested in trying to answer that question of where can I sell these pies that I make, these delicious pies that are unique to this area that I'd like to share with the rest of the world, or at least some parts of it, that there's a grant available. It's called the STEP grant. It stands for the State Trade Expansion Program, where if you decide, for example, that you want to go to, let's say, the Fancy Food Show in New York City, which is a huge food show, and that in going to that show, you will take some of your product and your literature, and you will go around and meet all of these people from the U.S. and many countries abroad who are looking for new products. and you can go to New York. They also have trade shows in other parts of the world, so you don't have to limit yourself to New York. But I'm just mentioning this by way of example. Okay, that's the first step. And you can distribute your pies, give them out, sample, and you can meet people who may be interested in purchasing your product for their markets. And you don't even have to, buy an airline ticket to, France, or an airline ticket to UAE or anywhere. You can do this right there in New York and establish those relationships. Figure it out, and then, even though you have to front the money for the airline ticket, the hotel, and the entry into the trade show, when you come back, you turn those receipts over to the appropriate entity here in Louisiana, and you'll be reimbursed for that expense. So it's like you can actually do the exploration at little or no cost.
Wow. And it proves that you're serious about it if you're willing to pay for it and then get reimbursed.
That's correct.
Because,
That's correct.
I mean, it's business. So.
It's a wonderful opportunity because, it's one thing to go to France and try to find people who may be interested in your product. That's a huge task. It's probably improbable. You really want to have people who are already motivated and already have money and have interest in finding new products. And so those kinds of events are what happens. I have one event, of course, it's very, very esoteric in the sense that it's about work boats and everything that's about work boats, the tugs and everything out on the river. So anybody who has safety equipment, for example, is going to be at that event.
Well, they have lots of people who, because we have a lot of water industry here.
Absolutely.
So.
Anybody who's selling towels, who provides even a linen service, may want to be at that event, simply because they run into people who are providing services to the rigs and others out there. It's the idea of as we say, going global is it sounds like it's a huge undertaking, and it is. I don't want to underplay how much it takes to do it. It takes a lot of guts to do it.
Right.
But those that do reap great benefits. The benefits would include the fact that, first off, generally speaking, when you sell abroad, you can garner a higher markup on your product. One reason is because if you're from the United States, goods and services from the United States carry gravitas. It carries a great, it's made in America. And that means a lot in the rest of the world. And I don't think we really appreciate it until we do go outside of the country and start talking to people. You can charge more for your product or service because people know that when it's made in America, it has quality, and that people who are the producers of the resource stand behind what they're selling.
Wow.
So why not go global?
Why not go global?
And the other piece is we can help provide financing to help you do this. So that, let's say that you have some service or product you want to sell, and it's going to take 90 days for you to receive payment for that product. Everything else you've got figured out, and you're real comfortable with the foreign buyer that you have, but it's going to take 90 days. For you to have to sit there and wait for your money to come in 90 days is kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
We have,
especially for small businesses.
Absolutely. We have financing available that will allow you the working capital that you need to pay for the product or service and to cover your costs on the front end until you receive your payment on that which you provided. So we want to cover every component of this, every step of this process, so that you sleep at night and not have to worry about whether you're going to get that check or that wire transfer, and that it's going to, if it's a product, that it is actually going to get off the docks here in the United States and get off the dock in whatever country you're going to and into the hands of those that you're selling to. Because that's not always easy, but we also help in you understanding what needs to happen in order to make that a successful transaction.
So the SBA, Office of International Trade, will literally, I'm listening to you, Mr. Harley, walks you through it and kind of handholds you. Okay, Reggie. Literally, handholds you through the process.
Yes, I work out of an office called the United States Export Assistance Center. It's located in the Custom House building down on Canal Street. That's the address you see there. And I have colleagues that work for Commercial Services, which is a part of the Department of Commerce. And so they're the ones in actuality who are connected to the embassies and a whole network worldwide that will help you. So that if you're saying, I got these pies I want to sell, I just don't know how much I need to sell it for when I want to sell it into Israel. I don't know what the ingredient limitations may be when I'm looking at Israel.
Right.
And
because there's going to be
can
different
help
things
you.
in different countries.
That's right, exactly. But they can help you figure those things out. The pricing of your product and figuring out all the costs that may be involved, especially though you may know the cost that it would take to ship it from here to Texas. The cost is going to be very different shipping from here to Israel, and they will help you figure that out. So yes, those resources are available and many, many more.
Well, we have a problem, We have a problem,
Yes.
Reggie. You have
We're
eliminated
getting up
all of our excuses. I don't know what y'all are listening to, but we have Reggie from the Office of International Trade from the SBA, and the only problem I can hear is that he has eliminated every excuse that we have ever made about international trade and exporting our goods and services. And New Orleans is a city, and I know they love the United States, products, but people across the world love New Orleans. They love the culture, they love the food, they love the music. So is it just items? Would it be music, or how does, or,
Yes.
or what are things that you come into contact with that you're like, you know what, these things should be exported as well?
I can't think of anything that can't be exported.
Wow.
That cannot be exported. I mean, as you point out, the music, the seafood, the spices and seasonings, the praline candy, I can't think of anything
Y'all
that cannot
listening?
be.
Y'all listening?
And as it relates to services, as you point out, hospitality. Have a customer here who, used to be, who was focused on tourism, bringing in tourists from Scandinavian countries.
Wow.
It was because she actually spoke, I think, Danish, German, and one other language from that region.
Mm-hmm.
But her focus was bringing tourists in from those various countries into not just the United States, but into New Orleans.
Wow.
Because she developed a strategy that connected people, especially through the music, jazz in particular, to New Orleans and between New Orleans and the Scandinavian countries. And that, for us, is an export. Because basically an export is bringing foreign money, if you will, into the United States. That's what we consider an export. And so that if it's a service like hospitality, that counts. If it's a service like education, I had a customer who sold educational curricula in other countries to school systems, that's an export.
Really?
Yeah, so services are really, really a growing market. Architectural services, engineering services, education, information technology, all of that. Yes.
So I
and
want
of
you
course,
to
Mr.
eliminate what you
Baji
think.
Murphy, if you know Mr. Baji Murphy, he does like the Jazz Fest and other festivals. He's been doing it in the United States for a long time. He now does festivals throughout the world. And that's an export.
That's an export. So we need to really eliminate what we thought exporting looked like, and we need to recreate it. Because Reggie here has opened my mind to living differently in the world, and I hope each and every one of you, for those businesses who may want to grow. Sometimes, the market outside of the United States is tenfold what it is here.
Let's increase that. The United States represents 5% of the world population. That means that 95%
95
is outside. There you go, or something near that. So what you're saying is exactly correct. We are looking at, if you're not going global, then you are limiting yourself in so many ways. Again, I don't want to leave here without emphasizing the fact that it does take some effort. It takes some real money in order to make this happen, but the return can be significant.
Anything worth doing is going to take effort.
Absolutely.
And you have to fund yourself a little bit. We have to put something behind yourself to see it grow. And you have to receive the information. So I hope each and every one of you, small businesses and anyone who has any service or item, anything you have, you can call and at least find out where you can go with that. And so how can they contact you?
You can contact me by calling my phone number at 504-589-2035. I also have a cell phone number where I am accessible because I'm not always in the office, 202-906-0217. And my email address as well, reginald.harley@sba.gov.
And we will be having all of this information online. So follow the Good Life Radio Show at TGL Radio Show, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I hope you are receiving this information, because that's what we wanted to deliver. We wanted to deliver the good life and open your mind to living differently in the world and offer your goods and services literally to the world. And we can do that right here with the SBA, the New Orleans Office of International Trade. So thank you so much, Reginald, for being here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you opening our minds. This week is receiving. We're going to receive it on so many levels. So make sure you tune in for the entire week. You can catch us at tglradioshow.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. We're out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Great information.
Yes, and I'm serious. It is. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get across how, in particular, African Americans are underrepresented in this whole industry when it comes to international trade. I'm just sorry about that, because
that's okay. Tell us now.
I know the reason is, at least in part, is because when you go to do this, you don't see a lot of people that look like you and I that are involved. And so even those that preceded me in this job didn't look like us. Sometimes that helps when you see somebody that looks like us, that's already involved. They're approachable. They may know where you're coming from already, and they know the barriers that you may have to overcome. They may be a little different from those of an Asian or an Arab person. And if I know we gotta go, but I can talk about this an awful lot.
He's always late, so we have like a minute or two. But seriously, I'm gonna ask you about like how do I what is the word I'm looking for?
Well, let me interrupt you by saying that we actually have what's called Are You Export Ready? Sort of a test that you can go to. So you can take that and figure out where you are on the scale. If you're not yet ready for export, then you'll know where you are and what you need to do in order to get ready.
I was actually speaking to a friend, and they said, with regard to radio, they said one of the reach outs could be actually with the troops overseas, because so many of us want to listen. But I know, like they want to listen to, something here.
Absolutely.
But how would you export a radio show?
Yeah, that's not quite an export, except that
see, I always
to the
throw
troops,
something at you.
To the troops.
Yeah, but they
like,
wanted to hear me in France.
Lee and I were talking before about who was it? Damon Baptiste.
Yes, Damon.
And the exporting of, what is it called, New Orleans music, or whatever the name of his show is, and how he's now doing that in 2 or 3 countries in Africa. And he's producing a show like that. It's still South Africa, but it's about bringing South African music to the South Africans, and also New Orleans music to South Africa.
Well, thank
so
you
it's a great
so
thing.
much.
And,
did y'all get all that? Yes.
All right.
We had an amazing show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. It's a good life, y'all. Go to tglradioshow.com to see the full show if you missed anything. Thanks so much, y'all. Hey, Zachary. Good morning, Zachary, Louisiana. Thank you so much, y'all. I'm out.